What happened to the Miami Heat? A team that once dominated the NBA with bold moves and a fearless approach to winning now seems to be stuck in neutral. Despite two improbable NBA Finals appearances in 2020 and 2023, their inability to capitalize on those moments has left fans and analysts alike asking the same question. Has the Miami Heat's championship window officially closed? Stick around because today we're diving deep into what went right, what went wrong, and whether there's still hope for this storied franchise.
The lob for Butler, he did it!
To understand the Miami Heat's current predicament, we need to look back at what made this franchise a powerhouse. Since Pat Riley took over in 1995, the Heat have been synonymous with bold moves. They've never been afraid to take risks. Think about it, in 2006, Riley engineered a trade for Shaquille O'Neal to pair with a young Dwayne Wade. The result? The first championship in Miami Heat history. In 2010, Riley pulled off one of the greatest coups in NBA history, forming the big three of LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. That core delivered 2 titles and 4 straight finals appearances. This is a franchise built on ambition, and Heat culture became more than just a buzzword. It became an identity, an ethos of hard work, resilience, and most importantly, a willingness to do whatever it takes to win. Fast forward to 2019, Jimmy Butler arrives in Miami, and it feels like the beginning of another bold chapter.
Today is the day Miami Heat fans have been waiting for.
The team officially introduced Jimmy Butler today.
I don't think I'm that bad of a guy. I'm not like everybody thinks that I am. The team that we have here, it's not about who you build around. It's just the guys that you have on the team. And to tell you the truth, here, hell, you always got people trying to beat me to the gym. You always got people they're in here late at night that are constantly working on their game.
Butler embodies Heat culture, tough, relentless, and unafraid of the moment. His signing signals a return to relevance for a team that had been treading water since LeBron's departure. And for a while, it worked. The Heat's 2020 Finals run in the Orlando bubble is nothing short of magical. They beat the odds, taking down the Milwaukee Bucks and Boston Celtics before falling to the Los Angeles Lakers. It feels like the start of something big, but here's the thing, that finals run might have been the worst thing to happen to this team in the long run. Let's talk about why. The 2020 bubble run convinced Miami's front office that they were closer to contention than they actually were. Instead of making the big moves they're known for, they doubled down on their existing core. They bet on the internal growth of players like Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, and they invested heavily in role players like Duncan Robinson and Kyle Lowry. On paper, it wasn't a terrible strategy. Adebayo is an all-star, Hero has immense scoring potential that he showed this season, and Robinson's three-point shooting was pivotal during that finals run. But here's the problem. None of these moves elevated the Heat to the elite levels it needed to be to win an NBA championship. Meanwhile, other teams were making bold moves. Milwaukee traded for Drew Holiday and later Damian Lillard. The Phoenix Suns acquired Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. Even the Boston Celtics retooled by bringing in Kristaps Porzingis. But the Heat, they stood pat, content with their roster, a roster that, let's face it, has its limitations. And then there's the missed opportunities. Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard, all players who were linked to Miami at some point when the news broke they wanted a fresh start. All players who could have transformed this team. Yet none of them ended up in South Beach. Why? Part of it is financial restrictions. The new CBA's second apron makes it costly to go all in, but that wasn't the sole reason that they decided not to pull the trigger. The bigger issue seems to be a lack of urgency. For a franchise that once prided itself on taking risks, the Heat's conservative nature has been puzzling. Let's talk about Jimmy Butler, the heart and soul of this team. At 35 years old, Butler remains an elite player, but Father Time is undefeated. While Butler's skill set and basketball IQ have allowed him to age somewhat gracefully, the question isn't if he'll decline, but when. Butler has been the driving force behind Miami's recent success, delivering iconic performances like his 56-point game against the Bucks in the 2023 playoffs. But relying on him to carry the team year after year is not a sustainable strategy, especially at his age. His contract situation adds another layer of complexity. Butler is entering a contract year, and there's a real possibility that he could leave in free agency if he isn't dealt sooner. If that happens, it's essentially the end of an era for the Heat. Beyond Butler, the Heat's supporting cast has its own set of issues. Let's break it down right now. Bam Adebayo, he's a defensive anchor and a solid offensive player, but he hasn't taken the leap to stardom like everyone thought he would. Can he be the number one option on a championship team? So far, the answer seems to be a resounding no. Tyler Hero has shown flashes of brilliance, but injuries have been a reoccurring issue. Can he stay healthy and justify his contract? That remains to be seen long term. Duncan Robinson, after signing a massive contract, Robinson's production and minutes dropped significantly. While he's shown signs of life recently, he still needs to prove he's worth the investment and likely won't ever get there. Terry Rozier, a relatively new addition to the core, has potential but hasn't yet shown he can make a significant impact in Miami. This roster has talent, no doubt about it, but talent alone doesn't win championships. Chemistry, health, and a clear pecking order are just as important, and those are the areas where this team has struggled. Even seasoned analysts like Bill Simmons are skeptical about the Heat's future. Simmons recently stated, and I quote, "I think the league just got better, and they stayed the same. They missed their window." It's a harsh assessment, but it's hard to argue with. The Eastern Conference is stacked. Milwaukee, Boston, and even teams like Philadelphia and Cleveland have all made significant strides. Miami, on the other hand, seems to be running in place and not making any significant moves. So is there hope? Could the Heat make one last run with this core? The optimists would point out that Miami has defied the odds before. If they can stay healthy and build chemistry, they have the talent to be dangerous. But those are big ifs. Last season, they ranked near the top of the league in games missed due to injury, and their constant lineup changes made it difficult to find cohesion. Even if everything breaks right, is this team good enough to really compete for a championship? The odds are slim, but as we've seen, the Heat thrive when the odds are against them. So the ultimate question is the Miami's championship window closed? Well, based on the evidence, it's hard to say otherwise. The lack of major moves, an aging core, and rising competition all point to the same conclusion. For Pat Riley, one of the greatest architects in NBA history, this must be a tough pill to swallow. But even legends must adapt, and it's clear that the league has changed and potentially passed him by. As for Heat fans, it might be time to prepare for a rebuild. This era, led by Jimmy Butler, gave us incredible moments and unforgettable runs. But in sports, as in life, nothing lasts forever. But what do you guys think? Is there still hope for this team, or is it time to turn the page? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more upcoming videos and NBA content. My name is Damian Peters, this is Basketball Network. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.